Revival does not begin with God. Anywhere you see revival, it doesn't begin with God. It doesn't. It has never. When you say revival begins with God, you make it look like God has a timetable that He's waiting upon so that He can walk amongst men. There's nothing like that. No. That is old, long ago failed doctrine of understanding the times of God and how He walks on earth. Revival never begins with God. Every revival always begins in the heart of men. Then it moves the heart of God. Until there's a move in the heart of men, nothing will happen. It doesn't matter how long we tarry and we wait, or we hope rather. Let me use the word hope. We hope that the revival is coming. It will not come. Why? Because God's time is every time. Any time man is ready, God delivers. Anytime. Anytime man is ready, God moves. He moves. It's never the case of, okay, for instance, do you know there are some Christians that believe that there will be a time in space, or there will be a space in time, maybe that's the right word, a space in time, that if they are prepared enough, or if they do something right, God, they'll begin to hear the voice of God, as though God has not started speaking to them. That's wrong doctrine. From the day you gave your life to Christ, you came into the wavelength of God. You can automatically hear God. All you needed to do was to tune to the right frequency. It's not to make God speak, because He's always speaking. Revival is the life of God flowing to man. It's not God waking up. Is there ever a time God does not have life flowing? There's never such time. Revival is a constant in the spirit. Anytime it crystallizes in time, we think it was God's time that brought it. It wasn't God's time. It is first the preparation of men. We have to understand this, because there's a generation waiting for revival. No, revival is not something you wait for. Revival is something you trigger. Because God is always flowing. God is always moving. I just gave you the illustration of the voice of God. It is not when you began to hear God that God began to speak to you. The example I will give you is the radio station. I know you know that in this room right now, there are multiple radio frequencies in this room. I know you know that. Are you, or you don't know? What's the one opposite us here? Radio Benue. Radio Benue is in this room now. In fact, is here jamming to all kinds of music. Satan's one, demons one, Jesus one, all manner of things, sensible and non-sensible things are jamming to Radio Benue as I speak to you now. And it is present in this room. Harvest FM is jamming across here. What's the other one over there? Brothers FM. And many FMs that are not even located in Makurdi, they are present in this room now. But are you hearing them? Okay. If you bring a radio set and you tune to the frequency of Brothers FM now in this room, will you hear Brothers FM? Is that when Brothers FM came into this room? No! That's not when Brothers FM started speaking. That was when you got into his frequency. When you started hearing God was not when God started speaking to you. He has always been speaking to you. It's just that you didn't get into the frequency. With God, revival is not an event that is coming. It is men opening up to his life that has always been present and flowing, and tuning into that frequency, and boom, he flows into that man. Are you hearing what I'm saying here? It's like the Lagbo Dam of Cameroon. As we are speaking now, the Lagbo Dam is containing the water. There's a lot of water there, but the dam is holding the water. If the Cameroonians decide today that they don't like the volume of water in the dam and they want to let it go. That water has always been there, but the few times they have opened it, they opened it in Cameroon, Makurdi was in trouble. All the villages and towns around the bank of the river Benue, they came into a flood. That flood did not start that day. That flood was available, but somebody made a way for the water to flow. That's how revival works. It's not the time in God that a move of God happens. No, God is always moving. That movement is called a vibration. He is an energy that continues to vibrate. But the day we make way, that is the day he flows in our direction. Then we say, oh, there's a revival. It has come. No, that's the day you open the way for the frequency to come to you. That means revival is not what you wait for. Revival is what you trigger. What you trigger. And the first trigger is the preparation of the heart. The preparation of the heart. That one is not the duty of God. That one is not the responsibility of God. That one is the duty of man. There can never be a move of God in your life until there's a move in your heart that triggers the heart of God. Never. It doesn't matter how long you wait. There are those who wait for revival. I have learned by experience that I can have revival anytime I want to have one. I know how to have revival. I know how to take things easy, but I know how to enter a rush of the spirit, because it has never been up to God. God is always vibrating. He's always flowing. The day it meets you is the day you opened up for it. It's not the day it started flowing. That energy has been flowing. When that meeting happens on earth, they call it revival. Why? Because men are resurrected. That's the meaning of revival. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying here? Revival is not something we should be waiting for. It's something we should be living every day. Every day we meet with God, we should have been revived. We enter life revived. And in that energy of that revival, we are causing the world to be altered in balance of power in the favor of the word of God over our lives. That is what revival is. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying here? There's something called the preparation of the heart. Revival begins for a man with the preparation of the man's heart. There's a revival positioning of the heart.